Okay, welcome to Tuesday's Tips. Today's topic is self-maintenance and kind of a basic overview of what that is. So my name is Michael. I'm a learning specialist here at Lehigh Carbon Community College. I am housed in educational support services, and Tuesday Tips are a 15-minute or less mini workshop where we kind of hit you guys with some essential skills that would be successful students here at Lehigh Carbon Community College. Special shout out to FYE, first year experience, and my colleague, Callie Clayton, for doing the marketing and supporting us as we move forward. Okay, so important disclaimer. Okay, we're going to be talking about stress and well being. Along these lines, learning specialists are not counselors. We're not. Okay, so we do have very good counseling services here at Lehigh Carbon Community College. So there's a point where you're stressed if it's overwhelming or your anxiety is overwhelming. Do make a time, make them reach out to them, take the time, make an appointment with them, and they can help you process the things and talk about some things. It's always good to get things off it's always good to get things off your chest sometimes. And I've always enjoyed my sessions with counseling services to help me process things a little bit differently. So that's available to you. It's free and it's confidential. I would encourage you, if you need to do it, to do it. All right, so here's a quick agenda. We're going to start with a quick self-check. We're going to talk about self-care versus self-maintenance and a brief overview of 3 areas that need self-maintenance. Okay, so rate yourself. Let us know what you think. This is an internal poll. Be honest with yourself. What is your current level of stress? Are you one, not no stress whatsoever, mostly mellow yellow, have some stressful moments, or in high stress mode? Are you in extreme stress mode? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Where are you in your stress meter? And this can vary. It can like that too. Because one of the things I do know about community college students is there's 5 top stresses for them. Number 1 is academic stress. They worry about school. Number 2 is financial stress. They're worried about money. Number 3 is family stress. They're worried about money, their family, right? And the bigger picture, how things are going. They're also worried about outlook, like what's happening to me next? Where's my next steps are? I'm stressed out about my future. But then there's also this wonderful category about everything else that stresses out community college students. So you guys have a lot of stresses on you, and we understand that, but you kind of have to, you kind of have to work through those things. It's not easy. It really isn't. But these things are natural stresses, and it can be understandable when these stresses occur. All right, so let's talk about self-care versus self-maintenance. So we very often hear the phrase self-care. I got to do some self-care. Well, self-care is the practice of taking an active role protecting one's own well-being and happiness, in particular during periods of stress. I argue self-maintenance is a little different. It's the ongoing daily routine that's occurring on a regular basis, right? It's basically stuff we need to do to feel like ourselves, right? Self-maintenance is doing those things that make us just feel normal, feel natural, feel like we're good with ourselves. Now, yeah, it's a fuzzy difference, and I would honestly say that self-care should be part of our self-maintenance plan, but very often isn't. And in fact, while you're in college classes, you can't just say, you know what, I'm going to take the next 2 weeks off and take a vacation and do some self care. You can't take a cruise mid semester and expect your classes to kind of just go on pause for you. Right. So self maintenance is one of those things that we want to do on a regular basis so that we don't get to that level that we need a lot of self care. We need that real break from things. So when we think about self maintenance, I'm going to talk about 3 things briefly: mind, body, and soul. Okay. And the important thing here to keep in mind about this is you can't improve yourself if you're not maintaining yourself. So, in other words, you can't do well in your classes if one of these things is out of whack, right? If your mind's not straight, if your body's not in good shape, and your soul's not in good shape, you really can't work on improving yourself and learning what you need to be successful in college. Okay. So let's talk about the mind briefly. Okay, one of the things tied into mind that's really important is this idea of cognitive load theory. Cognitive load basically relates to the amount of information that your working memory can hold at any one time. Then after that, you just start forgetting things. We just drift off. So, like, when we all kind of get there when we're studying or listening to a lecture and you're just not retaining stuff anymore, but your brain is full. Right. This is Stephen Chu. He's one of my mentors. He's given me kind of some useful information about cognitive load theory. One of which is the idea of learning and testing of learning, right? Because what you're trying to do is like when you're when you're taking a test, you're trying to pull things out of your long-term memory back into your working memory. But when you're trying to learn it, you're trying to get it in from your working memory to encode it in your long-term memory. So that's the very important thing. So the big thing is about refreshing your mind, right? Is being able to help maintain your cognitive load level so you can learn effectively and you can move stuff from your working memory to your long-term memory. So briefly about the body, right? So let me ask you this question. What is the one key self-maintenance that sense maintenance thing that's essential for community college students that they need, but they sacrifice all the time? And the answer here is sleep. We need sleep. Community college needs sleep, and we sacrifice it all the time to be productive, to study, and things like that. But we need sleep to have good routine. So self-maintenance, one key aspect of that is maintaining good sleep. In particular, here's this wonderful chart. And when you're between 14 and 65, you can see how many hours a week how many hours a day you're supposed to be sleeping, right? So most entry level college students, you're like 7 to 9 hours, but you can go somewhere as 6 or 11, right? And adults, are 7 to 9 or 6 to 10. It really kind of depends. So you want that consistently too. That's the thing. Routine is key, right? Because as you get older, it's harder to snap back from breaks in your routine as your age. My son is 14 right now, and he does a sleepover and he stays up till 3 o'clock in the morning. He is totally fine, the following day, right? Or a day later. I, on the other hand, I normally go to bed around 10. If I go stay up to 11 or 12, it takes me almost a week to recover my routine because I'm just thrown off. So you want to establish good routines and try not to break your habits as much as possible. Right. So let's briefly talk about the soul. Okay. And the big question here is, what is the soul? What does this do for us? Right. So there's a lot of definitions out there and a lot of religious ones and a lot of really good ones, a lot of deep thinking ones. So here's a basic one. Your soul is part of you that consists of your mind, character, thoughts, and feelings. Okay. And your soul is an important thing to keep in mind. Okay. So if I give you just one tip to improve your soul and maintain your soul on a regular basis, it's this. Put in some headphones and just jam out for a little bit. Close your eyes, just jam out, listen to some music that you just enjoy, make yourself feel better. Take 3 minutes, listen to a poppin' song that you enjoy, that you like, and that you'll just feel better. Study after study has shown that music inspires us and makes us feel different things. And if you can just make yourself feel better, that's going to help your soul. Okay, so self-maintenance again, mind, body, and soul, they're all connected. And when these are all maintained well, right, you can improve yourself, but you can't improve yourself if you're not maintaining yourself. So next week, we're actually going to go in more detail about each, but I want to just give you all an overview of this so get a sense of what's going on with self-maintenance. And tell us what you thought. There's a link in the chat and in the description. Let us know, was this useful? Did there something here that you learned? Is there something you want us to spend more time on? We appreciate it. And thanks for joining us for Tuesday Tips. Again, my name is Michael. Thank you so much, and I'll see you all next Tuesday.